I'm going to connect with my intention for even recording this before I get started. So why do I want to do this? I want to share my experience, and I want to share my experience because I want to connect with people about the experience of being in retreat, and also to allow space for my friends and family who I have not had the opportunity to talk to about these experiences to know what I've been up to. Hey y'all, my name is Ivy and I am a talker. Welcome to my corner of the internet where I talk about whatever it is that I care about. Today we're going to be talking about my experience during the Four Immeasurables retreat, which I am just coming home from. My plane landed like at 11 o'clock last night back in Richmond. And yeah, that's just what I want to get into. I have my notes written down, and just to clarify, like, the greater purpose of me publishing this is so that more people can become aware of the experience of retreat, especially within my circles. My greater goal is that we can all just exist within an open heart space without the complicated muck of our aversions and our afflictive states, period. Like, especially when it comes to one another, like, we can exist alongside it without it ruling our existence. Yeah, pretty much that's where I'm coming, that's where I'm landing, that's where I'm resting within all of this. So I have like some basic logistical information that I want to share, and then some experiential stuff. I don't know exactly how long this video is going to be. To be honest, retreats are very boring. I don't think that this is going to be like the hit for my entire audience or everyone who's within my community. So don't feel bad if you don't watch this, or if you don't feel comfortable or you don't want to watch this whole thing. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm doing this for me. I don't really speak that loudly. I'm trying to practice projecting my voice until I get a mic. And I'm recording on my phone instead of my camera because I don't know, I'm just kind of crazy like that. Anyway, topic: Four Immeasurables retreat. Okay, if you don't know what the Four Immeasurables are, they are the four boundless qualities of the enlightened mind. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, and the list goes like equanimity, meaning to be like impartial or to like having no bias or to be held as equal. Then there's loving kindness, compassion, which is to suffer with someone, and sympathetic joy. I loved this weekend. The Four Immeasurables are really awesome in general. Like, the first teachings that I got around this Four Immeasurables were really eye-opening, and sitting through this again was just, it was so perfect, in perfect alignment, perfect timing for what I was in need of. And yeah, I'm gonna get deeper into that as we go along anyway. But that's the Four Immeasurables, and there are plenty of books on it. There's plenty of teachings on it, and within the Non-Chalk Foundation, if you look them up on YouTube, I can link them down below, wherever the below is, where you're watching this. They have so many videos, so many resources, so many teachings on their website and stuff about these practices, between like Tonglen, metta meditations, sympathetic joy meditations, and like doing the concentric circles within equanimity, maintaining that sense of equanimity throughout all of that so that we can achieve that boundlessness within our hearts. Oh man, so general stuff about the retreat. It was about a week long for me and my fellows. I'm a part of this fellowship called Compassion in Action Fellowship, and we are a group of young people who were brought into this, I guess, this program to learn the foundations of Buddhism and meditation, to not only develop and deepen our own spiritual practice, but to then bring it home and to make an offering for other people to join us in these beautiful practices and to study meditation. Oh man, like, it feels like a lifetime ago that I was sitting in our first retreat for 3 weeks, like immersing with a bunch of strangers. And now, like, we've come full circle, and I love them so much, and I miss them so much. And being able to sit with them and like be in this space where we could just like, or he called it a love factory, where we could just like generate all this tender, loving kindness and compassion, and just general like understanding and knowing, like deep seated spiritual connection and knowing of one another. It's addictive. It is addictive. I'm gonna miss them like forever. Like, I mean, of course, we're bound to see each other again, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point of the video. I'm getting too excited. But yeah, the first day that we came was to settle in with my Sangha, and then for the weekend, that was the actual like immersion into the retreat. We did our meditations together. It was very regimented. Our day started with meditation and continued on with the teachings, and then more meditation, reflecting as a group and with one another in breakout groups. And then of course, like, we split up. We had meals together and all of that stuff, and then meditating again at night, and whatever time that we had to share conversation and to be just, I don't know, to be together and to engage, talk about the deeper things in life that we can't really, I will speak for myself. There are some things that I just can't talk about with everybody in my life, and especially not to the capacity that I can engage with it with my Sangha. They kind of just get it, you know, like, there's sometimes where you talk about things and you kind of got to break it down and explain and even explain why we do this in the first place, or why it's important in the first place. In Buddhism, and especially within anything Eastern tradition, we kind of understand inherently why this is important in the first place. There was 3 days of the teachings. That was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then on Monday and Tuesday, we went into silence to really integrate the practice and to immerse ourselves into the practice. That was my favorite part. My first time going into silence, I didn't really have any idea what I was getting myself into. So this time going into silence, I had some intentions, and let's just say that I was very happy with being in this container again. But yeah, that's the duration. It was 6 days for me. The location of the retreat was at the Bodhi House, Casa Bodhi, um, at the Non-Chalk Retreat Ranch in Montana, out in Hot Springs. It is extremely beautiful. If you follow me on Instagram, or yeah, I think Instagram is probably the only place that I'm going to be sharing like so many pictures, unless I break down my experience or whatever thoughts come up or reflections that I want to share through writing on my Substack. I may add some pictures up there, but for the most part, you'll be able to find those images on my Instagram if you want to catch a glimpse of Casa Bodhi from my lens, of course. It is extremely beautiful out there, so serene, the perfect place to foster the mind, the precious mind of bodhicitta, and to get deeper into these compassionate practices. Within Namchak, we have like very specific teachers, but I was very blessed this time. I was very blessed to get these four immeasurable teachings from some prolific teachers. Lama Somo came and actually taught the four immeasurables herself, which was such a pleasure. She is so freaking funny and sweet. I was not like, like, you don't really be expecting that, but everyone, all of our teachers have been so down to earth and so sweet, so funny, and so well learned and expanded in their awareness of things. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. And we also got a guest appearance with Dora Lapla, and her amazing voice and her awesome teachings, and just how grounded and centered she is, and the information that she's been steeped in for quite some time. I deeply admire Dora Lapla. I'm not gonna lie, because like the teachings are so like repetitive and we learn the same things over and over again. I 100% fell asleep. I get the best naps. Okay. And like internalizing the Dharma. I'm awake in spirit. Maybe I should edit this out. General activities that we did together included Tong Lin, which is a compassion meditation where you ingest the suffering or like allow the suffering to come in. You breathe it in, breathe it into your heart where source can absorb it, and then you breathe out this clarity and this purity towards them that like clarifies that sense of suffering in the compassionate practice, because compassion is that desire to like not just like feel the suffering but to relieve the suffering as well. So with Tonglen, that giving and receiving practice is just so, it's so beautiful. So we did that a lot of Tonglen, and I really enjoy the Tonglen. It helps me. I think I can focus more on Tonglen now than I can Tonglen and Metta. The Metta meditations are well, to complete the thought, I can focus more on them than others. We also did meta meditations. Like we went through the four immeasurables. So with each one, we focused on a practice best suited for that immeasurable. So we did meta meditations for love and kindness, which literally means meta, which yeah, you know what I'm saying. Meta means love and kindness. So we did love and kindness meditation where you say the things to the person that comes to mind, starting with yourself, moving outward to all beings across dimensions and timelines to make it really, you know, equanimous. And I think like we usually say like, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be peaceful and at ease. I have my own um, list that I go through in my mind at any given time that like really feel close to heart. So I may go through that list in my mind for whomever comes upon my gaze and my mind while I'm in meditation. And then we did the sympathetic joy meditations, which is like tapping into that source connection with joy, feeling that joy for others and like experiencing it with, you know, being joyful for, being joyful with. I still am not in full understanding of the sympathetic joy practice. So that's something that I'm going to be seeking more knowledge, more teachings around, more practice with. And yeah, that's just me. I don't even know if I'm doing it right. So I'm really like I need to lock in with the sympathetic joy. It's much easier for me to experience it in person or like in the moment, I should say, versus bringing it up and sitting with it and holding it in meditation. But like I said, that's just practice. Practice makes better, it makes stronger, you know. Other activities were like I said, were just general meditations. We've done like round robin meditations where we have shamatha and then we get into our immeasurable practice and then do shamatha again to close it out. And shamatha is simply like calm abiding meditation for those who don't know these specific terms. And it's really the meditation that we think of when we think of meditating. There's so many different types of meditation and so many different ways that we can engage with the act. And I really enjoyed the round robin practice. It's really eye-opening and grounding as well for any sort of meditative practice, and it keeps me in meditation longer because I may lose focus in shamatha. I can go to one of the four immeasurable practices and expand my meditation that way, and then when I'm kind of exhausted of the immeasurable practice, I can go back into shamatha, and I can actually go back and forth between the shamatha and the immeasurable practice to maintain like grounding and then like maintaining the immeasurable practice. And of course, like aside from meditating and the teachings, other activities that we did were reflecting, especially sharing with one another. We shared in the middle of lessons, we shared after lessons, just generally talking about life and stuff like that outside of lessons and engaging with our Sangha members, and then eating together, which is my favorite thing to do. I love eating with people. Even while we were in silence, eating together just felt so nice. Just be in the same space as everyone else at the same time. Just sharing an activity, sharing food, eating. The rota that I chose this time was kitchen rota, and I've done all different types of rota within the retreat container. I've maintained our meditation hall or the shrine room. I've maintained our common spaces upstairs and downstairs. This time I did kitchen rota, which was way better for especially for not building resentment. With your rota roles, just generally speaking, you kind of want to choose something that doesn't build resentment, and that's the one for me. just washing dishes, being in that zone, and then I can just do something at a time of the day and not have to think about it all the time. That's something that really irked my nerves with the other times. Oh, and I was a bell ringer. That's the other role that I did. But I sucked at bell ringing. My sleep schedule sucks. My routine sucked at that week. So I was really bad at it. And that was a part of the compassion and practice for myself, like having to have compassion for myself and knowing that that's probably not the best thing for me to do, to be a timekeeper. Okay, this video was long. And to be honest, I think like this could be a good part one of my Four Measurables retreat video. And if you're interested in learning more or like getting into the deeper aspects of my personal experience in retreat, um, check out my next video. Check it out. Or maybe I can just continue and not be so pussy. I'm lazy. I don't want to edit a 50-minute video. It's going to piss me off. So yeah, catch me on the next one. I'm actually about to record it right now. Um, but yeah, this is part one of my Four Immeasurables retreat recap video. And this is just general logistic things. Shout out to Lama Somo for even giving us the opportunity to have these moments in retreat, as especially as young people. From what I saw about the people who came to the retreat that weren't a part of my cohort, it was mostly older people who realized later in life, you know, and I say older loosely, okay? Like think 30s and up. Or some people were like really like in their late 40s and up. That like come to these teachings or come to the realization that they need something like this. One lady, she literally was talking to chat and was like, yo, I need something. And chat was like, you know, during their conversation was like, maybe this would be good for you. And she's the newest member of our Sangha. The world has a way of bringing us to these teachings, but it was really nice to see the type of crowd that is really involved and why it's so important for us to get youth involved in these practices. And it's because like we're the ones shaping the world to come, and if we're going to have an effective like impact, then we can like we can really lock in with these practices and bring them forth as we're plowing forward in our worlds. It's really beautiful that my Sangha members, especially like my cohort, we are all young people and we all connect with these teachings so deeply within our personal lives, like alone before we got there and after we got there, throughout this whole program. So like I said, I'm extremely grateful to the Namchak Foundation, to Lama Somo, to the Buddha, and to all of our teachers that came before. I'm just like, just for the sheer opportunity to have this moment and this time to be able to sit with these teachings, and to be able to expand on the practices that serve us, regardless of what they are. So, just for GP, I want to go ahead and dedicate the merit of this video. um, I think that some of you watching would really enjoy this, but this is a really quick dedication prayer. It's not the long dedication prayer that I have compiled. It is a really beautiful one, but yeah, are you ready? Prayer hands, Anjali Mudra, okay? By the power of this compassionate practice, may suffering be transformed into peace. May the hearts of all beings be open and their wisdom radiate from within. Thank y'all so much for watching, if you stuck around for this long, and thank you for tuning in to the next video that's coming. That's probably going to be more interesting. Because it's going to talk about my personal experience and some of my reflections while I was in retreat this time. I likely won't be getting into anything about my last retreat, like ever, because it happened so long ago. I might get into some stuff, but I don't even remember a lot of what was going on. So you likely won't ever hear about that experience, which is fine and beautiful because we're going to have so much more to talk about in the future. So yeah, be grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. And if you would like to connect with me, you know how. If you want to get more of me, you can find my videos on Substack and on YouTube at Ivy Yani. That is my name. That's how you found me. I'm gonna have my website up again sometime soon if you want to connect with me for any of my services, and reach out if you would like to get a care package from me. More information is going to be coming out about my care packages in the future as well. Yeah, I talk about things: spirituality, travel, magic, whatever else I'm interested in at the moment. I love talking about consciousness and things like that. Yeah, I'm an artist, I'm a poet, and I'm a writer. So if any of those things interest you, then I might be your girl. If you don't like my deadpan voice, though, you might not enjoy it. If this video wasn't enough personality for you, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, peace to all beings, bro. Get out of here. So beautiful here.